Ted, very special guest. I met him back in 2017. My company at the time, Bytedance, we had an office right next to where he was interning. So, and he's got such a great story. Anyways, I won't get ahead of myself. Welcome, Ted.
Whenever I see TikTok booming in the media, I always remember, like I always tell my friends, like the TikTok office, like the original office was, I actually worked right next to their office.
Yeah, exactly.
Baby, 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 oh, like baby, 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 no, like baby, 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 oh, I thought you'd always be mine, mine.
What's cool about Ted's journey is that you made a big career switch. You were a professional musician for many years, and then you went back to college. So let's briefly start with that. What made you decide to do a few years of your music career?
So I was actually really into making my own business. I was very devoted to making the world better, and then the way to do it was either through politics or through business. And then I thought politics is not my thing, so I do my business and change the world for the better. Yeah. So I was always into doing on my business, but during my senior year of my high school, one of my friend from same high school, his name is Yun B. If you're actually into K hip hop, you will know him. So he was we went to same school, and then one day he was like, "Yo, bro, I got home studio set up, and let's record a song and like play a jam together." So I went to his house, and then we didn't know anything actually anything about music much. Like, I mean, we were like, I casually sing, he casually rap, but we didn't know anything about like producing music and stuff. But like we just like just tinkering with the music software, and then we made a beat, and then he rapped on it, and I actually sang on it, and we like stayed up until like 7 a.m. And like that same day, and then I was like I don't want to sleep. I just wanted to keep making music. Well, this is such an eye-opening moment for me. I always loved music, but I never thought music as my career. I was very studious student. I was out, as an Asian student, like always thought the focus is going to a good college and competition. So music was never consideration for me. But at that moment, I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna definitely do my own business later. I gotta do music before I get too old. I thought that was like my only timeline where I could actually fit in my music passion. Because if I get too old, I don't think I would have a chance to actually pursue it, because I would be burdened with a lot of other pressures. So like I actually I called my mom. I mean, it wasn't like right after the day, but like I started making music after that, and then I loved it. And then our high school is actually famous for music, so I had a lot of musician friends, and then they loved my music, and they actually cheer me up too. Like they say I got talent and stuff. So I called my parents, and then I told them like I want to do music like before I get too old. I want to do it like after high school. I want to delay. I want to have a gap year going to college before going to college, and want to pursue music a little bit. And then of course they were like super furious, and almost try to abandon me. But I actually I made kind of a threat to them that if they don't allow me, I'm gonna just quit the school right now. I'm gonna be a high school dropout and then go back to Korea. What you guys can do? So yeah, eventually they just reluctantly agreed upon it. And so they said I could try music for maybe a year or 2 years. So after finishing my high school, I went back to Korea. I was at my high school was in actually upstate New York. I went to high
Oh,
school in upstate New York, Syracuse. So I went back to Korea after my high school, and then yeah, I started I started music producing. I got lessons from the music producers, and then I did
wow.
eventually I released my own albums. I performed around Korean clubs, and I performed on TV shows and stuff.
Wow. Was
Yeah.
this the Yoonbi you're talking about? This Yoonbi?
That's Eunbi.
Oh.
Eunbi is a YUNB.
Oh,
Yeah.
this one. Yoonbi.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's,
So
it's my
he
high
really
schoolmate.
encouraged you.
Yeah, like I mean, more of a exposed me to the music, like I mean, like the home studio and like music producing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah. And then
Wow.
he eventually became a musician himself too, like professional musician. Actually, yeah, he just sent me a message today to check his business proposal.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. So was it a bit of a culture shock when you went back to Korea to be a musician? Because you went to high school here. Tell me about that.
I mean, there wasn't much of a culture shock because I actually grew up in Korea too before. I was in Korea until middle school, until like 8th grade. I was in Korea, and then I went to U.S. Yeah, during my 9th year of my during my 9th grade. So yeah, there wasn't much of a culture shock, I would say, but there was a lot of loneliness because I didn't go to college at the time. I was always I was always stuck at the studio all the time. I actually intentionally actually cut contacts with my friends at the time because it was such a radical decision to actually pursue music. Because I was very into I was before I pursued music, I was very into study, and I was very dedicated to going to like Harvard and stuff. So a part of me was like I didn't uh expose myself that I'm doing music until I actually make it big, So because it was such a radical decision, a radical career change. So connect with the contact with my friends. So I was always just in the studio all the time. So I had a lot of lonely times at the time. Yeah, for like 3 years.
And I understand your decision. Like, because for me, when I was in LA, I felt like I didn't have too much to talk to with my college friends or my high school friends, right? So I purposely, whenever I'd see life updates on Facebook, because back in the day when we met, everyone was still using Facebook, right? And I remember I was just like, every time someone gave a life update that was different than mine, I was just like, you know what? I have less in common with all my friends from back in the day, all my acquaintances. So yeah, I get that feeling, but I can imagine, thank goodness, like when I was in LA, I managed to make friends, but I can imagine if people aren't as lucky sometimes when they move to a different culture. What was the process like to start that band? I think you told me back at Les Troy's, right?
Yeah, Les Troy's.
Yeah. So what was the process like? How did you find your bandmates?
So the leader of the team was actually a resident producer from Big Hit. Big Hit is the company where BTS belongs. Now it's like the #1 company. At the time, it was like 4th biggest company, record label in Korea. So one of the he was a producer from the Big Hit label, and then he got out of the label to start his own producing team. So he was recruiting members, yeah, young members. He was a bit old. He was already like 20 years. He already had 20 years of experience as a producer, and then he tried to recruit young people with fresh perspectives. And then I knew him from one of my friends. Actually, initially it was like they were looking for a guide vocal for one of the songs they were gonna release, and then I participated as a vocal for their guide songs, and then they liked me, and then they offer me to join the team together, and then and also to make an album together. And our lead vocal was also he was quite known at the time from one of the top music competition program, like TV shows, where they, like it's like a Korean version of American Idol. It was like in top 10. So we started off as a producing team first, but then we wanted to kind of promote ourselves by we actually going onto the stage as well with our own songs. So we recruited lead vocal too. Me, him, and one of the other vocal guy too. 3 of us as a male 3 trio. We started singing around Korean clubs with our own songs that we produced. So we had a producing team and singer team, and I was in both both of the team. So yeah, we started performing on the club scenes in Korea, and then because oftentimes the bands in the clubs, a lot of them are newbies. But we were actually very experienced because our lead producer was a very experienced producer, producing a lot of commercial songs and stuff. So our sound quality was good, and also our lead vocal, he was very famous too at the time. We instantly got a lot of recognition and a lot of opportunities and a lot of exposure to the club scenes and indie music scene in Korea. So there, I accomplished everything I've dreamed of as a musician. I released my albums, I play in radios and TV shows, and
만나지 않았으면 어떡할 뻔 네게 없었으면 놀랐을걸 아름다움이라는 단어도 사랑이라는 이 감정도 이해 못했겠지 이게 시험이었으면 망쳤겠지 넌 오늘 하루 반짝 생일처럼 놓칠 수 없는 여자야.
after staying there for 1 year, I thought it was time to, because I've accomplished what I've initially wanted as a musician. So I thought it was time to me to move on to the next stage, which is pursuing my own original dream, which is to be an entrepreneur. So I quit the team and I decided to go to army because I had to finish my army duty, which is like 2 years. I went to army, and then during the army time, I studied for college, SAT. And then, yeah, I went to University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign after I finished my military service, which was about when I was like 26.
I think you had a very good little exploration, right? I really liked what you did. You spent just enough time exploring, and then you're like, okay, it's time to do the other thing I really want to do. So I think you went about it really well.
Yeah, like I didn't want to live a life of remorse.
Yeah.
I want to try out everything that I dreamed of.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's funny because I wanted to find some music from Les Choice, but I just couldn't find it anymore. But I remember you showed me back in the day, so I'll probably have to find it later and insert some of it or later on when I edit this.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wanted to kind of show people some samples. But yeah, I guess never mind. I think I know how to find it. Ooh, we could go back memory lane, listen to some of your stuff together.
Yeah.
Wow, Ted. Let me share my screen. Wow, I bet you this brings back memories. Let's see if this brings back memories. Is this?
Yeah, that's my team.
Wow.
And during that, I think that's time when I already quit.
Oh, I see. So they stayed together after you quit.
Yeah, but the team didn't last long enough after I quit. Yeah, they had their own issues.
Oh wow! Look at this. That's not you, right?
I mean yeah, that's me. Yeah,
You. Oh, look at that.
that's not me, but that's me. Yeah.
Oh, that's you. Yeah. Okay, I see. Oh yeah, dude, that's young Ted. Look at that. That's baby Ted. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, there you are. That's baby Ted. Look at baby Ted, looking very K-pop guy. That's so cool. Okay, I'm gonna have to put more of this in once I edit this. But so when I met you, you had just finished your first year of college, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. And at that point, you were working at, I mean, it was a really cool startup. They were doing sound stuff. And like, I remember you showed me a demo. I was like, wow, it was like the haircut thing. Wow, I actually feel like I'm getting a haircut in different parts of my head. So you knew that probably something in tech was what you were going to do.
I mean, back in high school, like that's like when I was like 2008, 2007, there wasn't a thing called startup. So I at the time I wanted to do my business, but by the time I go to college, there was a thing called startup now. Yeah, people like especially because I wanted to do something more of a innovative, not traditional business, but something innovative that actually changes, that has a lot more impact to the world. So I actually, as soon as I go to college, during my freshman year, I actually built an app Uh, and I built a party information app in college, and then so I had a lot of those experiences back in college. And then over the summer vacation, I actually went to have more of a professional startup experience to do my own startups. So as a first attempt, that was my first summer vacation out of college, in college. So I decided to join. I was looking for a startup, and then there was this startup called GAudio. They're still doing well. They were like a very promising startup at the time with the VR emerging. They were like the in terms of like their like technical I don't know expertise. They had more audio PhDs or about the same number of audio PhDs to as many as Dolby sound. Dolby, yeah. So it was very and they got investment from SoftBank and all those stuff. So it was very hot startup at the time. And then yeah, I joined there as an intern.
Once you interned there, you went back to college. How did you finish the rest of college? By the way, for people who are watching, Ted and I basically, you know, a lot of things happened the past few years related to a certain thing that we probably can't talk about on YouTube, but a lot of things locked down, etc. So Ted and I lost contact for a little bit, but we reconnected. So when the unfortunate stuff happened, have you graduated already, or were you still in college?
That's about the time I finished my college. So COVID started in 2020, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I finished my college in 2020. I'm a class of 2020. So yeah,
It
that's
caught
like
you during your senior year. Oh, I'm so
the
sorry.
last half of the senior year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean back in college, I tried multiple attempts to do my own business.
Mhm.
First one was party information app. So my school, University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, we were like number one party school for 10 years, like 10 consecutive years by, I don't know, some school ranks. And then we had actually most number of fraternity house like in the states. So we were a very big party school. And then when I was there as a freshman, people were still texting party information through text message. There was an integrated party information app. So if you had a lot of friends, you always know where to go. But if you aren't, then you don't know what's going on around weekends. So because I was a very extroverted person, I always knew like where the parties are every weekend. And then people always ask me, "Yo, Ted, what is there anything fun?" So I was like, why don't I just make a party information app, integrate all the party information? And also a lot of my friends, I thought at that time, my initial theory was that, my hypothesis was that if I could make all the fraternity post their parties at my platform, which is gonna be a lot because frat hold parties like, I don't know, 2 times a week. So and I had a lot of friends who were pledging for frat houses at the time, and then they were like saying like, "Yo, if I join the frat house, I will post our parties to your platform." So I made it through hiring remotely a Pakistani engineer back in Pakistan, and then once I finished building it, there was actually a problem. So because my friends were like pledging and who joined the frat houses, were saying that they're gonna use it once the app is done. So I told them like, "Yo guys, I made it. Can you guys post your parties onto my platform?" And then they found out that they cannot actually post it because if you think about it, all the parties are actually illegal.
Oh.
Yeah, because underage drinking and everything. Yeah, I mean it happens as like very casually, but actually it's illegal. That I mean, probably that's why they only exchanged information through text at the time.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So and they didn't know at the time because they were just pledging. They were freshmen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't know what's going on. So I was like, oh, what should I do? Should I pivot? Because my theory was that if if there's a constant inflow of party information to my platform, people will just naturally come in, and
Yeah.
also people posting their own parties too, other than frat parties.
Yeah.
But my initial hypothesis got broken because the frat couldn't post their parties. So I was like, should I pivot or not? I was thinking about it, and by that time, uh, one of my friend was actually running a party event planning business back in college. I he asked me to join his party planning business as a promoter at the time. So I joined the team, um, and they were throwing events for like Koreans at the time, like international Korean students. And then it was almost going down. It was like almost on the verge of disappearing because yeah, it wasn't going well. So eventually I took it over, and then I expanded it to include much wider audience, including not just international Koreans, but any Asians on the campus initially. Because I mean the core of club business is about about these guys, guys buying the alcohol, pretty girls. I mean, I said the pretty girls, and the guys buy the expensive bottles. That's like the any nightclubs you go. That's like the how they make money.
Yeah.
So and then Asians, and you see Asians like Asians, and then so if I could have pretty Asians, if I could attract pretty Asians to my party, no matter how, then I thought it's gonna be guaranteed to see a lot of guys paying for tables and everything. So I try to actually. At the time, people were saying, "Oh, there are not many pretty girls on our campus and stuff in this city," and like I was like, "No, there aren't. Like if you actually look out, there are people." So I actually try to get contact whenever I see a pretty pretty girl on the streets. I try to get their contact, and then actually I made them as a party promoter. So in the end, I had all the pretty girls as a party promoter, which means they will stay in the party until the start of the party. I mean, from the start of the party till the end of the party, right? So it's gonna be guaranteed, right? The pretty girls, the prettiest girls on the campus will be at our party. So once I had it, everything was solved. Like no matter what big name DJ other competitors bring, like there were a lot of rich event planning business. They bring like top 10 DJs and stuff. I actually initially hold my event on the same day when there's a big DJ coming in. Yeah, because if it goes well, I was in danger. If it goes well, yeah, they were spending a lot of money, so I need to I need to make sure that it doesn't go well. so I did I acquired all the pretty girls on the campus as our promoters, and then eventually all these rich kids started coming to our party, and then they started wanting to join our team as a promoter and stuff. So eventually, like I could sell like one champagne bottle, which is like I don't know, $100 to $3,000 and stuff. And then I hold our school had like the biggest like party day. Like it's called unofficial. And then I hold the biggest party during the unofficial day at the biggest venue on our campus. I actually sent out buses to nearby schools as well, like Indiana, Purdue. I collaborate with all the nearby schools.
Wow.
Yeah, so I threw the biggest party in the Midwest at the time. So I had a good success. My first business success experience through that event planning business, and then initially, and then at the end, we monopolized, we became monopoly of this market in the city. And then I had two choices. Either I scale up, I actually expand it to other campuses, or I start another thing. Because there were actually people like from Purdue and Indiana. They actually wanted me to make a branch. But actually, party business was it wasn't a very scalable business. I had to put a lot of human resources to promote the party. And then there was a lot of operating costs. We had to renting the place and paying for the DJs was actually a huge cost. So it wasn't very. I mean, it was good enough for me, but it wasn't like if you actually wanted to do big business, it wasn't a very profitable business. Uh, so I thought I learned a lot through this experience, and the market is already stabilized. Like we became monopoly of the market. So I handed it over to my the business to my roommates. I started doing another stuff, which was it's like Chinese social media. And then I mean all this through all this experience I learned that. Through all this startup experience, through all this business experience in my college, I learned that because I didn't have much of a professional startup experience, I was running all this business kind of like student RSO. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. I run it like I wasn't very professional in how I run it. These organizations. So I thought I wanted to learn like the professional way of operating startup.
Yeah.
So after college, I went to Silicon Valley to actually look for an opportunity where I could be doing from A to Z, but under the umbrella of big startups. I was looking for a startups position where I could do a lot of stuff. Also, I could learn a lot of systems. So I was looking for that kind of position. And then luckily at the time, ex-Uber founder Travis Kalanick he just got kicked out of Uber at the time. And then he was trying to do new business, which was main business was cloud kitchens. It's a shared kitchen business. And also he wanted to open up a B2B SaaS business relating to the cloud kitchens. So he was trying to launch a new business unit in Korea for the B2B SaaS product that he was going to launch. And Korea was like the first market he was going to launch because Korea already had a very dedicated delivery market. It was a very big delivery market at the time. It was a restaurant manager's app for delivery orders. So you integrate all the delivery orders because there are a lot of different eater apps, right? There's like Uber Eats and like KPop and stuff. So we'll integrate all the delivery orders into our own platform. And also in Korea, actually, we have third-party logistics to send out the delivery orders too. So we integrate all of that software too. So it was a delivery. It was a post system for delivery orders, and then so I joined the team as the create market launching team as one of the first 5 members. So from there, I just had a ton of experience of actually starting a business. Like I actually had to build up the business in Korea, like under the guidance of the headquarters, like because out of the 5 members, the one who recruited me was always busy with administrative stuff. So and other than her, I was the only English speaking employee at the time. So I was always communicating with the headquarters and of setting up teams, setting up metrics, setting up softwares to run each team. So I was actually I was able to build all the possible teams out there to build a SaaS product, like the sales operation, customer success, support, onboarding, product management, all these things. I built all the teams, and I worked there for 3 years. And then I thought, I learned everything already. And our startup actually became decacorn within 3 years. Yeah, so it was very fast growing experience. So I thought, I know how to operate professionally now. So I was doing side project, which was a shared place-based membership community. So it's a subscription basis where if members subscribe to our place, and then they can use the place for 24/7. But it's not WeWork. It's like WeWork, but for after work. to casually hang out with the friends. Yeah.
Ah,
So yeah, so like, cause like I came up with the idea during the COVID time. When I got back home from work, I was like, I was watching Netflix and I didn't want to watch Netflix anymore. But it was like 9 p.m. and at the time, it's hard to make an appointment with your friends at that late hours, right? But when you were young, if you just went to kindergarten, you could meet your friends all the time without making appointments, right? In
yeah.
advance, right? So for the kids, they have those places, and for the elders, they have like senior house and stuff. But for the generations in between, they didn't have the shared place where they could just go there and guarantee to see their friends, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I started a business membership based community, and then I expanded it to 3 branches, and then there I met this co-founders that I'm running AI startup with right now. Yeah, so now I'm doing AI stuff.
Wow. So it's so interesting. You, for 3 years to gain your professional experience, did the food delivery, chef delivery, kitchen delivery type stuff. Because earlier this year, randomly, I interviewed for a company like that. And it was just interesting because obviously they were a Chinese company expanding in America. And I will never forget, I asked them because they're trying to expand in America. And I just asked them point blank, I was like, do you have anyone who's even Chinese American like me? And they're like, no. So I was like, well, I guess that means you're only trying to expand within Chinese businesses here. But they told me like already 50% of their users don't speak Chinese. Business wise, not just like users on the app, but business wise, because restaurants and stuff, a lot of restaurants want to be on these services. So there was like a disconnect. And I was like, well, if you only want to hire like Chinese people and you're trying to expand in America, maybe there's an issue, right? But it almost sounded like when you got hired at that app, it was the same thing. You were the only English speaker.
Yeah, but we were doing it in Korea, so
Okay, so yeah, that makes sense then. And you're doing it in Korea, so yeah, you being the only English speaker makes sense. So yeah, but if they were to expand in America and they weren't just targeting the Korean American or the Koreans here, then they have to have more English speakers. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that makes a lot more sense that it was a Korean app.
it was American app, but they're trying to expand it to Korea. Like coincidentally, they just made the app, but because Korea has such a huge delivery market, they wanted to do business like simultaneously. Yeah, in the States and in Korea, yeah, together first.
So you had an essential role because you were a good liaison.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I it was a I experienced a lot of stuff, acquisitions, just startup operations and product management.
Lots of product management, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So
at the peak time, our app took care of like 20% of the world delivery orders at the time.
wow.
Yeah, I'm excluding China. So because we couldn't do the business in China because of some issues. But
Of course. Wow, good for you. So basically those 3 years that you were at the food delivery app was basically, I think if I didn't get burned out at Bytedance, if I stuck it out one more year, my journey would have been very similar. So it's good that like a few years after me, you got a very similar experience. Wow. So let's talk about now. What made you decide, okay, it's time to do an AI business?
When I decided to do music, it was like 2010. That's like mobile app time, right? A lot of new business, a lot of success story from mobile apps. And then I missed out those periods because I was doing music at the time, even though I was always into entrepreneurship and business. So I always thought like I always kind of regret missing out those periods. So I thought if anything happens, any similar big movement, big wave happens next time, I will never miss it. And then there was AI. Yeah, AI was something that will be definitely a game changer for a lot of industries. And then in my community, there was a guy who was just about to finish his PhD in AI computer vision. And then there was a guy who just exited his AI startups. and then there was another guy who was into startups. He was in different business, but so four of us got together, and then there was a like biggest AI startup competition in Korea with like 200K grant, and then we formed a team, temporary team, project team to apply for the competition, and then we actually won first place. So that's how we decided to do full time, and then we've been doing it since that, for about a year now.
So winning that grant helped a lot, man. Good for you.
Mhm,
You did it
mhm.
smart. It's like, well, let's get some initial funding, and you got some initial funding. That event you were doing when randomly I saw you were in America for a few days, was that related to the current startup? Was that a previous
No,
startup?
it's about the current startups.
Oh.
So I thought with the AI. With AI, I thought, especially we were gonna do AI image generation stuff, because our PhD, our CTO was expertise in AI image generation. So we were gonna do something about it, and then we thought, I mean, there's not much differentiator you will make, even if you're doing it only, even if you're doing business only for Korea in terms of image generation. Like people, there's not gonna be a big advantage of like catering only to Koreans for image generations, because like for ChatGPT too, like there's no like point of making ChatGPT Korea, like Korean version of ChatGPT, because it's gonna like just one foundational model will supersede all the other models.
Yeah.
And also just, to actually build a foundational model is costs a lot. So we thought we're gonna do. We're gonna start from global. We're not gonna start from Korea. We're gonna do it. We're gonna aim for global. Like just from the beginning, we're gonna build a product for the global audience. Just like any other AI image startups. So we after we formed the team, we actually went to the States right away, like after, like 2 months after, and then we started networking with the VCs. Yeah, and then one of the VC we met in our first trip, he introduced us to another VC, and then during our second business trip to the States, we got actually got the funding during our second trip. They liked us. So we formed the C Corp, Delaware C Corp in the States, and then we made a flip. So now our Korean startup became subsidiary of our Delaware C Corp, because that was the precondition for the investment. So now we are actually a US startups. US startup with under the US VC. But also we all got another VC funding from Korean VC, and also we got a lot of Korean government grants as well. We recently got like 1.5 USD worth of Korean grants from the Korean government. So yeah.
Yeah, congrats. It sounds like a lot of things are going right.
Yeah, in terms of funding, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the day-to-day like for you now?
For me right now, at like 8 a.m. I wake up, and then I go to work and arrive to my work by like 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m. And then I work at my office, and then I come home at like, I don't know, 7 at like 8:30 ish, and then I just because I still run the community actually, so like over a week, about like 3 times I still like have to participate in the community event and stuff, organize the event and community event. So I'm left with 4 days of free free time after work. During those times, I do YouTube actually with my girlfriend. So I edit the videos, and that's about it. I don't. Then I spend all my days, all my times during the week.
That's so amazing that you still fill your schedule with a lot of stuff. And maybe
Yeah.
that's the secret. That's the secret to life.
Yeah.
Ultimately, with this AI company, probably, do you want to sell it, get it sold one day? What's the goal behind this?
I mean, we're open to any options actually.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're right now we're open to options. Like, I mean, it could go either way. I guess, yeah, we could sell it, or we could actually make go for aim for IPO, or I mean, I think like in the order, if we are doing super well, we're gonna aim for IPO. If it's doing this, end, maybe selling it is a better strategy. If not, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
yeah.
For people who, let's say, have an entrepreneurial mind,
Uh-huh.
what advice would you give them? And maybe another way of asking this question is, if you had to redo it over, would you change anything about your journey?
I would try to shorten my music time because I did it like for like 3 to 4 years. I think that was a bit long time. Yeah, because I mean it's a precious time, right? It's that's like when I'm early 20s, right? I mean, I think I could have shortened it more, and then yeah, spend it that valuable time for maybe doing my own stuff during that mobile time, or going to college earlier. And maybe if I went to college earlier, maybe I've been maybe riding the wave of coin cryptos. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that I definitely sense talking to you is you catch on to trends, right? You're
Uh-huh.
definitely one of those guys. Like, I'm different. I sort of just get an idea. I don't care what people think. I do it. And there's a
Mhm.
time and a place for that. But it takes a lot of grit slash a lot of persistence to do what I do. So people who are able to catch trends, as long as you're able to be like, okay, if this trend's not there anymore, let's jump to something else. You don't want to stick to it too long. Then it's like, uh-oh, I wasted more time, right? But there is a time and a place for people who can really jump on trends. I have a cousin like that. He loves to follow trends, and me and him have a little conflict. He's always trying to get me to jump on trends. I'm like, dude, you do you, man. Don't try to change me. But there, there is a reason why following trends work. It's because if you do it right, a lot of money to be made.
I mean, not just in terms of the money, but like a lot of, I guess, opportunities, right?
Yeah,
Like,
opportunities on top of that.
yeah.
Exactly. If you're a
Uh-huh.
person who cares more about the learning, the
Uh-huh.
networking, the ability to just be up to date with the world, right? Yes,
Mm-hmm.
opportunities.
Yeah, I care about the impact I make to the world more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what is your team like right now? Is it mostly tech people? Is it some tech people, some other types of people?
So so we started off with four co-founders. I'm a psychology major with entrepreneurship background, and one other guy is like mechanical engineering and slash design major. He had an exit of his startup, AI startup before, and the other guy was a CTO. He's the PhD in AI, and the other guy is his background is economy, but also worked in a real estate development company, which is his parents' company. So those are the four co-founders, and then for our employees, we have front end engineer and designer, UI UX designer, and operator, and AI researcher. Yeah. So those are eight of us. Those are our teammates for now. But we're keep actually hiring because we recently got a lot more funding. So
It sounds like you guys have a good team, right? One of the struggles, challenges a lot of people have is, I have an idea. How do I get it? And also, how do I find people who are trustworthy? How do I find people who are skilled, right?
mhm.
And it sounds like you guys found it. How did you find your team?
uh, for my co-founders, I met it at the community, and then for our employees, we like two of them are through our friends. Yeah, friends, and then two others are actually only one is recorded through LinkedIn post. LinkedIn, we promoted it through our LinkedIn post. The others are actually friends of friends, or actually friends. Like the researcher is my best friend's younger brother,
Wow.
and the operator she's my friend from the community. Yeah, and then the design UI UX designer, she's a friends of friend. Yeah,
It
so
really shows a lot of times in this type of space, it is all about, it's hard to trust like a complete stranger.
mhm,
All these, I've always told people, even when I was at Bytedance, I told people, if you really want to have a good presence, find a good job, have a good future, invest in yourself as a brand. You know, don't apply to 100 jobs. Have such a good presence that jobs come to you, right? Or
mhm,
know
mhm,
so many people that you and people can recognize your skill and refer you to people.
mhm,
And I think just hearing how you found your team, it's that you guys went through your network first, you went through your friend circle first, and then only when needed, you guys went on LinkedIn to try to like pool from a general population.
mhm. Because I studied organizational psychology back in college, and then the best way to like how you like the best scientific way to know a person will perform better is actually how they performed in their previous work, not like resume, like a GPA, or I don't know their college degree or something, or IQ. Uh, the, the number one predictor of future performance is how peers assess them back in their ex company. So when you actually get referrals from your friends or someone you know, you actually can do background check. You actually know how they performed in their previous company. So this is like actually the best way to recruit someone scientifically. Yeah.
That's really mind blowing
Mm.
because obviously, how can you just find out how people do at their previous company, especially if they've left it? Well,
Hmm.
the way around it is, let's say they're still at the company or they might have left, but you know, they're still in touch with certain people that are their friends. That's how you found out how they do. Oh, that's really fun. I like that idea.
Hmm.
That's how you solve what I call the information asymmetry. Because again,
Hmm.
you don't know how they did at their old company,
I
especially if
know.
they've left it. So how do you get around it? Ask friends for referral because those friends will know how they did. You know, if they're
Hmm.
friends, they'll talk about it. So those
Uh-huh.
friends will know how
Uh-huh.
they did.
And people generally may worry that what if friends cover for them, but actually statistically uh, they actually people are usually being honest
Yeah.
when they're
Especially if
assessing.
you're friends with them too. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
key.
yeah. Uh-huh.
You're looking out for everyone, right? That's a true friend. A true friend looks out for everyone.
Uh-huh. So that's that's like the best way according to metadata meta analysis of recruiting. Yeah.
Wow. So, Ted, I think this is a good stopping point because I'm inspired. We should do another talk,
Hmm.
just like talk completely about like organizational psychology. Now that I know that's what you studied, I
Uh-huh.
love this area. So, let's
Sure.
schedule another time. Let's like really talk about the stuff you learned about organizational psychology and how you
Uh-huh.
apply it to life and work and stuff like that.
Hmm. Sure, sure.
Yeah, because I know I'm
Uh-huh.
going to learn a lot from it. I know viewers will learn a lot from it. So, for viewers watching, we're gonna have Ted back. We're gonna go really in deep into certain things that'll just be helpful for any organization, any company, any entity in general, any entity with more than two people. Yeah. So
Yeah.
everyone, this was Ted. By the way, what's your company called, Ted?
Homie AI.
Okay. Umi,
Uh-huh.
like O.
Homie as in HOMI.
Oh, okay. Humi
Without the
AI.
E. Without the E. Yeah.
Okay, Humi AI. Okay, yeah, exactly.
Homie.
So,
Yeah. Mhm.
all right. Oh,
All
I
right.
see it. I found it. I found
Uh-huh.
it. Cool. All right,
Uh-huh.
everyone. This was Ted. He will be back. Leave your questions for him.
Thanks, guys.
Baby, 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 oh